Shadows of the Past Early Life of Arya. The Great Escape. In the oppressive stillness of the night, Arya moved with purpose. Through the dimly lit halls of the grand estate, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew that her window of opportunity was fleeting, and she dared not waste a moment. With each step, she felt the weight of her decision pressing down upon her. But she refused to let fear paralyze her. In her small attic room, Arya gathered her few belongings, selecting only what she needed for her journey to freedom. Her mother's diary, a few scraps of food, and a change of clothes were carefully packed into a small satchel. There weighed a comforting presence against her side. As she moved quietly through the house, Arya's senses were heightened. Every creak of the floorboards and whisper of the wind causing her heart to race. She prayed that her stepsisters were asleep, their taunts and jeers silenced by the cover of darkness. With bated breath, Arya reached the front door, her hand trembling as she turned the handle. Outside, the world was cloaked in darkness, the air heavy with the promise of rain. Arya hesitated for a moment, her gaze flickering back to the safety of the house she had called home for so long. But the memory of Margaret's threats and Daniel's unjust imprisonment spurred her forward. With a silent prayer on her lips, Arya stepped out into the night. The heavy door closing behind her with a soft click. The storm broke overhead, the sky split open by jagged streaks of lightning, and the rumble of thunder echoing in the distance. Rain poured down in sheets, soaking Arya to the bone as she fled across the darkened grounds of the estate. Each step was a battle against the elements, the wind, howling in protest as if trying to force her back to the safety of her prison. But Arya pressed on, her determination unyielding, her eyes fixed on the distant horizon where freedom awaited. As she disappeared into the darkness, the estate behind her fading into the night, Arya felt a surge of exhilaration mingled with fear. She was alone now, truly alone, with nothing but her wits and her courage to guide her. The first night of Arya's escape was a blur of fear and uncertainty, her senses heightened by the unfamiliarity of her surroundings. She sought shelter beneath a gnarled tree, its branches offering little protection from the driving rain. As she huddled against the trunk, shivering from the cold and the dampness of her clothes, Arya felt a surge of doubt creeping into her mind. What if she had made a mistake? What if she was not strong enough to survive on her own? But then, she remembered her mother's words, the strength and resilience that had carried her through even the darkest of days. With a renewed sense of determination, Arya clutched her mother's diary to her chest, drawing comfort from its familiar weight. As she drifted into an uneasy sleep, the storm raging overhead, Arya felt a glimmer of hope flickering in the darkness. She knew that the road ahead would be difficult, filled with obstacles and challenges she could not yet foresee. But she also knew that she had taken the first step towards reclaiming her freedom, and that was a victory worth fighting for.